Hello all, welcome to the Universal Group of Institution Bangalore. Today we will be covering the part 2 of Lebanon and Israel issue which is happening nowadays. Israel eliminated Hezbollah aerial commander who developed UAVs in Lebanon. The Israeli Defense Force has released drone footage showing the targeted killing of Mohammad Hossein Surur, a top Hezbollah commander, in an airstrike. Yes, you heard it right. Recently, we have seen that Israel has attacked on Lebanon and they have killed their commander, Hezbollah's commander, and his name is Mohammad Hossein Surur. So today's story takes us to the heart of the Middle East, where a new battleground is emerging. After reducing parts of Gaza to rebel, Israel has now shifted its focus to Lebanon. And let me tell you, things are getting really intense out there. Israeli forces are launching major attack on Hezbollah-controlled areas in southern Lebanon, and the situation is spiraling quickly. As of now, over 492 lives have been lost and thousands are injured. It's heartbreaking to see civilians caught in the crossfire, women, children and elderly forced to flee, searching for safety whenever they can. So this is the situation going on currently in Lebanon. Now, here's the question that we should all be asking. How did Lebanon, once called the Switzerland of the Middle East? Yes, Lebanon was called the Switzerland of the Middle East, but now it ended up in such a chaos. Let's dig deep into it together. Not too long ago, Beirut was one of the most beautiful cities in the world. They called it the Paris of the East. With its rich culture, music and stunning architecture, Lebanon has the highest GDP in the Arab world, and tourists from all over flocked to enjoy its unique charm. So this was the situation happening in Lebanon. But that golden era didn't last. Lebanon has become a war zone, caught between regional powers, terrorism and crumbling economy. Just imagine, what was once paradise is now filled with fear and destructions. The Israel-Hezbollah conflict has escalated to the point where Israel is warning of an even larger offensive. Meanwhile, Lebanon is already buckling under severe economic pressure. It's truly heartbreaking. Let's break down what's really happening at the center of Lebanon's economic collapse in a man named Riyad Salameh. Sounds similar. Yes, Riyad Salameh, he was once hailed as the economic survivor, but now many see him as the part of the problem. So how did he go from hero to villain? Salameh was appointed as the governor of Lebanon. Yes, Riyad Salameh was appointed as the governor of Lebanon's central bank in 1993. And for a while, he seemed to work wonders. He established the Lebanese pound, attracted foreign investment, and helped rebuild Beirut. But fast forward a few decades and the economy is in shambles. But why? Well, it all started with interest rates. What would you think if someone offered you 15% interest on your savings? Isn't that very good for you? Sounds too good to be true, right? That's exactly what Lebanese bank did, offering sky-high interest rate to lure foreign investment. And it worked. It also worked for a while. But here's the problem. Those promises of big returns, they weren't sustainable. International media started calling it a Ponzi scheme, that is a fraud scheme. And when people wanted to withdraw their money, and guess what happened? There weren't enough cash to go around. Lebanon's banks shut their doors and the economy came crashing down. People's life savings were wiped out. Unemployment skyrocketed. Families lost everything. And on top of that, Lebanon is facing political chaos, where Christians, Muslims and Hezbollah each hold political power, but can't agree on forming a government. So there was a political crisis happening also. There were Christians, there were Muslims, and there were Hezbollah people. But there was no common ground of forming a government. Think about it. How can a country function when it doesn't have a president or a prime minister for 2 years? This political gridlock is adding to the mystery. No budget, no stability, no hope for a better future. So there was no hope left for a better future. And all the while, Hezbollah continues to provoke Israel, leading to these deadly airstrikes. And now, as if Lebanon wasn't suffering enough, it's at the risk of turning into another Gaza. Yes, you heard it right. Lebanon has the risk of now turning out to be in another Gaza. Israel is ramping up its attack while Hezbollah prepares for counterattacks supported by Iran. And guess who's also stepping in? China. Yes, you heard it right, China. China has to put its nose everywhere. When it comes to the war between India-Pakistan, when it comes to the war between India, US, Russia, so there was a conflict between US and Russia also, so China has stepped inside. So there was conflict going between India and Pakistan also, China has stepped inside. And now in Israel-Lebanon case also, China is putting its nose again and again. They have voiced support for Lebanon and could potentially provide indirect support through Iran. So what China says? We are going to support Lebanon indirectly via Iran. This situation is shaping up to much bigger than just a regional conflict. It will not be a regional conflict, aspirants. The conflict has expanded its wings. Now China factor has also come. We are talking about global powers playing their cards here. Now the global power, China, is also playing its card here. So what's the next for Lebanon? Will this small but resilient country face the same fate as Gaza? What do you think? Will Lebanon have same fate as Gaza? Will the international community step in, or we will see even more destruction and suffering going on? Friends, Lebanon's story is a cautionary tale of how political instability, terrorism, and economic collapse can bring even the most prosperous nation to the knees. So if we have political instability, we have to rectify it as immediately. But it's also a reminder to the resilience of the people and their hope for a better future. What do you think? Can Lebanon recover from this chaos, or this is the worst yet to come? Let us know in the comments below, and if you found this video insightful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Universal Group of Institution Bangalore for more deep dive into the world's most pressing issues. Until next time, my friends, stay informed, stay engaged. Thank you.